Everybody, John Hendricks here reporting for HBCU Legends. Normally you see me over on Saints News Network, but I was over at the HBCU Combine today in New Orleans, getting a really good feel for how things had ran today. Stepping in for my colleague Kyle T. Mosley, who was unable to attend. All the best for Kyle, though. He will be back on his feet in no time. But talking about a little bit of my impressions and just kind of some thoughts overall from the HBCU Combine. Look, I'd say first and foremost, it's over at the Saints practice facility in Metairie. It was very well organized, I think, and it was a very good home to host. I only saw maybe a handful of teams that maybe weren't represented there. And again, I'm not going to name them just because for the sake of, I just because I didn't see them doesn't mean that they weren't there. But look, at least 30 teams I saw out there that were represented by area scouts. You had Omar Khan of the Steelers, their GM, was out in attendance today. You had the HBCU legends like Tug Williams out there, coaches out there. You had a lot of the, again, area scouts, a lot of interest. Daryl Johnston was there for the USFL. The XFL was also there in attendance. So very much intrigue for this event in New Orleans. And obviously, for a lot of these players, the NFL is not just necessarily the end game, but, very intriguing that you have the XFL there and also the USFL in addition to all these area scouts and a lot of big time names that are out there that have been associated with HBCU for a long time. And especially for the Saints, they were very well represented. Jeff Ireland was there, Kai Harley, Michael Parrington, a lot of the Saints brass there. Gail Benson, had made also an appearance as well, just to kind of, introduce. And she talked a lot with a lot of the local people were there and a lot of the people that were representing HBCU. So who were some of the guys that really stood out and saw a lot of the offense, extensive look at the offense, and we saw some of the defense. But look, I think first and foremost, Darius Haggis was a guy that stood out to me, blazing fast speed, a lot of good moves on him. Xavier Smith was another one. I think he might have been the guy that stole the show from a wide receiver's perspective. I think he had a fantastic showing out at the Combine today. And look, this is a whole week, so they're going to be practicing the next several days and obviously leading up to the game that's going to be over at Yulman Stadium for Tulane. And so it's going to be interesting to see how these guys, kind of like the Senior Bowl, how they respond in practice is one thing, but how they put it on the field is going to be another. Really interested to see what the representation is there. J.J. Holloman was another one that stuck out on my radar. Ja'Cory Rankin was another one. And Kamari Averett was another one from an offensive perspective. But, look, each of them, it was one of those things. You're getting integrated. You're learning a lot. Obviously, it's more to the drill base, 40-yard times, 3-cone shuttles, all those types of things. Got the broad jump, all those types of things that you normally see at the scouting combine, which we'll see in Indianapolis next week. From a defensive perspective, look, Dejon Nugget Warren, man, he I think had the best combine time that we saw right off the bat, unofficially 4.28 and a 4.48. That was pretty good. And I might have misspoken to 4.2, but he was blazing out there. He had really incredible speed, looked really good, very good showing for him. But look, overall, event ran extremely smooth. A lot of representation there. The event was broadcast on NFL Network. Got to catch up with Steve Weish out there. Talked to Doug Williams a good bit. Just seeing a lot of the Saints brass. Fred McAfee was out there. I mean, you name it. There was a lot of people that were involved in this process that were seeing a lot of investment into this event. And so it's great for HBCU. We look forward to seeing even more for it. As always, stay tuned to more on coverage on HBCU Legends. I'm happy to do this on behalf of Kyle T. Mosley. I'm John Hendricks. Thanks a lot, guys.